Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, definitely make sure to subscribe. So today I'm gonna be reacting to top 10 things Netflix, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong. Now without further ado, y'all, let's get into it. This show gave me nightmares.
What's going on?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong.
What I did, I should be dead.
For this list, we're looking at what was fact and what was fiction in Ryan Murphy's Netflix series about the infamous serial killer. Are you watching Dahmer? Let us know in the comments below.
I already finished the show in like
Number
2
10,
days.
How Jeffrey Dahmer was caught. Right. Netflix's limited series about Jeffrey Dahmer begins with the night a would-be victim survived an encounter with the killer.
Somebody call the police! Help me!
On July 22nd, 1991, Tracy Edwards spent hours in Dahmer's apartment in fear, waiting for an opportunity to make his escape. And though the way in which he escaped is depicted differently in the series, Edwards did hit Dahmer and ran out of the apartment.
I hit him and I ran towards the door, and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
2 police officers went to Dahmer's residence to obtain the key to unlock the handcuffs still on one of Edwards' wrists. Once they found explicit photos documenting some of the murders, Dahmer was apprehended, putting an end to his reign of terror.
The officers were stopped by an individual who claimed he was in the apartment and became engaged in a dispute with the owner of the apartment and left the apartment and called the officers.
Number 9. Dahmer wore yellow contacts. Right. One of the lesser-known facts about Dahmer was his strange habit of wearing yellow contact lenses.
You see my contacts? They're just like the Emperor's.
Like the Emperor's.
Got him at a costume shop in Kenosha.
He wore them because he felt connected to 2 dark characters in his favorite movies: the Emperor from Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, and the Gemini Killer from The Exorcist 3. In changing his appearance to resemble these powerful fictional figures, Dahmer himself felt more powerful and predatory.
That I actually derived a sort of pleasure from watching that tape.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't. But I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I gave in.
He repeatedly watched the films before he went out to find another victim to...
This is the stuff I'm talking about. I swear this dude had a demon. Whether y'all believe in that or not, I personally believe that he had a fucking demon, because I don't know if it's true or not, but he was doing rituals to the devil or something, or you know, just the fact that you would get some type of pleasure from watching the exorcism. Like I saw in the show where he was like, he would watch it, get like some type of power from, like, I'm sorry, you had a demon. If you get some type of feeling of power from a scary movie, something wrong with you. I ain't gonna lie, something wrong with you.
Bring home, often making them watch the films with him.
What are we gonna do? Told you. We're gonna hang out. Gonna watch a movie. Gonna take some pictures. And I'll pay you.
Tracy Edwards also testified that while playing The Exorcist 3, Dahmer was chanting and rocking back and forth.
It was like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
Number 8. How Ronald Flowers survived.
That dude must be
Wrong.
traumatized. Oh
Jesus.
shit.
Don't worry, I'm not a cop.
Another survivor of Dahmer was Ron Flowers, who met him when his car broke down and Dahmer offered to help. He took him to his grandmother's West Allis residence and drugged his coffee. But Dahmer is interrupted when his grandmother sees that something is wrong with the young man.
You should tell your grandma, not gonna lie.
Hospital.
What? He's just a little wasted, Grandma.
I will not have some stranger dying in my house.
He'll be fine. Just let him sleep it off. Jeez.
No. Something is not right here.
She is adamant about staying with the unconscious guest, making sure he gets on a bus the next morning. But her actual involvement in saving Flowers from her grandson has never been reported. Like in the series, Flowers woke up in County General Hospital.
Where am I? You OD'd. You're lucky to be alive.
But what isn't mentioned is that he was also covered in abrasions and believed he might have been assaulted. He later testified that he didn't know how he got there, though the series provides a fictional scenario.
A guy I met last night, he was weird. He must have slipped something in my drink. Dude tried to kill me.
Number 7. Dahmer posed in yearbook photos. Right.
How did he get in there?
I don't know. Dan, how did you not catch this?
I'm sorry, I didn't see him in the photo.
That's your goddamn job, Dan.
The Netflix series mainly follows Jeffrey Dahmer as an adult. But a flashback to him in high school shows him sneaking into a yearbook picture for the Honor Society, despite not being a member. Yes, he actually did this, and his face was subsequently blacked out of the photo. My Friend Dahmer, both the graphic novel and its film adaptation.
Yo, so they actually really blurred his face out in the yearbook? I mean, what was even the point behind doing that? I don't get that.
Further into the prank and the other club photos he infiltrated.
Excuse me, what do you... Oh, no. Is that really necessary?
Former classmates have described how his bizarre behavior in school quickly went from entertaining to concerning, given his heavy drinking.
And I remember sitting next to him in a first period, I believe, history class, and he had a styrofoam cup of scotch, I believe it was scotch. I remember saying, "Jeff, what is that?" And he threw his head back and he shook it and he said, "It's my medicine."
Number 6. Dahmer killed Dean Vaughn. Wrong. In episode 7, Glenda Cleveland meets Dean Vaughn, a new resident of the Oxford apartments.
So he didn't die?
Snapped on you. You gotta be careful in this neighborhood.
Well, I'm a good guy. Scout's honor.
She sees him talking to Dahmer in the hall and is visibly concerned. The series doesn't follow through with his story, but it does point viewers in a certain direction. However, Vaughn was really a tenant in the building. He was found strangled in his upstairs apartment in early May 1991. Dahmer was questioned about the suspicious death before he was arrested, and again when he was eventually caught. Both times he denied knowing him, and no evidence was ever found connecting him to the crime.
Nah, I'm sorry. I think he killed him. He was found strangled in his apartment and they never had any leads. And on top of the fact this fucking serial killer was there just going around killing black men. Come on now. And that's the thing. I know a lot of people are saying that he didn't confess to all the people he's, done stuff to. And that's scary because they've only documented 17 people. So if that's not all of them, how many were there? I'm sorry. I honestly think that he killed them. Like, I really do.
As of 2022, the murder of Dean Vaughn is still unsolved.
And what about Dean Vaughn? You was talking to him in the hallway, then I never saw him after that.
Number 5. Baptized the same day as John Wayne Gacy's execution. Right.
Yeah,
so
this
you've never
part
done
was
construction
crazy.
work before?
No. Well, like I said, it's just stuff around the house, helping my mom,
The beginning of the final episode doesn't open on Jeffrey Dahmer, but rather another infamous serial killer, John Wayne Gacy, aka the Killer Clown. In the 1970s, Gacy took the lives of more than 33 young men in Illinois until he was arrested in December 1978.
That's
Gacy
crazy.
was the epitome of evil. And he was the epitome of being a great guy, which gave him the ability to be the most evil guy in the world.
For 14 years, the
Hell
convicted
no.
murderer was on death row at Illinois' Menard Correctional Center. And on May 10, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection.
John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at 12:58 a.m.
He got a much easier death than any of his victims. In my opinion, he got an easier death than he deserved. But the important thing is that he paid for his crimes with his knife.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Dahmer was being baptized
No,
by
he ain't
Minister
paid for
Roy
it yet,
Ratcliffe.
but he
And,
sure
as
is.
it's briefly mentioned in the series, a partial solar eclipse also occurred that day. What does it all mean? We don't know, but this connection between two notorious killers is definitely eerie.
Congratulations, Jeff. You saved.
Thanks. Thank you.
Number 4, victim impact statements. Right.
I would like to say to Jeffrey Dahmer that he don't know the pain, the hurt, the loss, and the mental state he's put our family in.
One of the most heartbreaking parts of Jeffrey Dahmer's 1992 trial was hearing the impact statements. After sitting through the details of his crimes, family members of the victims had the opportunity to address the court. One of the more harrowing statements came from Rita Isbell, the sister of Errol Lindsay. The series recreates the emotionally charged moment with actress Deshawn
I ain't gonna
Barnes,
lie, her
who
acting was
embodied the palpable
amazing.
pain, anger, and sadness of Isbell in her performance.
Now, I don't want to ever have to see my mother go through this again.
Her
Never,
acting,
Jeffrey.
man.
Jeffrey, I hate you.
And Dahmer's own statement took a lot from the real-life one.
That I did what I did, not for reasons of hate. I hated no one.
Number 3, Glenda Cleveland lived at the Oxford Apartments. Wrong. In the series, actress Niecy Nash plays the role of Glenda Cleveland, a woman who is often overlooked in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. She interacts with him, mostly to complain about the smell and noise coming from his apartment through her vent.
I gotta say, that smell is worse than ever.
Is it?
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford Apartments. The character is likely a composite of Cleveland and Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor. However, Glenda Cleveland did continuously call Milwaukee police after her daughter Sandra Smith and niece Nicole Childress told her about a boy they tried to help.
Yo, ain't no fucking way they just said that. So that neighbor that got the meat sandwich, did she actually eat that? Because they said they don't know if she actually consumed human meat. What do you mean you don't know?
At the Oxford Apartments. Wrong. In the series, actress Niecy Nash plays the role of Glenda Cleveland, a woman who is often overlooked in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. She interacts with him, mostly to complain about the smell and noise coming from his apartment through her vent.
I gotta say, that smell is worse than ever.
Is it?
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford Apartments. The character is likely a composite of Cleveland and Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor. However, Glenda Cleveland did continuously call Milwaukee police after her daughter Sandra Smith and niece Nicole Childress told her about a boy they tried to help. Number 2, Milwaukee police officers returned a victim back to Dahmer's apartment. Right.
I don't know how they're still in the police force.
Hey kid, what are you doing?
In late May 1991, some young women, including Smith and Childress, found Konarak synthesome stumbling in the streets, not in the Oxford Apartments hallway as shown in the series. They called the police to help the very young-looking boy.
He was holding on to me with a really, really strong grip, and he was trembling, he was shaking.
He didn't want her to let him go. I wouldn't have let him go.
With him, and I was like, I'm gonna get you some help.
But when Dahmer came back to his apartment, he convinced officers Joseph Gabrish and John Balserzak that synthesome was of age and his boyfriend. In the series, Cleveland is at the scene confronting police, trying to tell them that he was a minor.
Wait. You just gonna let him take this baby back inside?
Ma'am, he's telling me this is where they live. We're gonna take him back inside.
Y'all don't at least want to find out how old this boy is first?
Ma'am, he says it's his boyfriend. We'll handle it from here.
I'm really sorry about this, everybody.
Despite protests from the women,
Ain't no
the
way.
officers escorted Dahmer and his incoherent boyfriend back to his apartment. When the police left, Dahmer killed him. Tragically, this poorly handled ordeal actually happened. After Dahmer's arrest, Gabrish and Balserzak were suspended, but later reinstated. Before we continue,
Like,
be sure to
why?
subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Dahmer always wore his glasses at trial. Wrong.
Mr. Dahmer, before I impose sentence, I understand you have a statement you'd like to read?
Yes, Your Honor.
Towards the end of the series, Jeffrey Dahmer goes on trial for the murders. While the majority of the scenes are accurately recreated, there's one detail that was different. Evan Peters as Dahmer almost always wears the killer's trademark glasses. But the real Dahmer specifically did not wear his glasses throughout most of the trial. His reason? He didn't want to look the jury or victims' families in the face.
Why?
Yes, it's a small inaccuracy in a largely true-to-life series. However, his decision to remove his eyewear is significant because it shows that he was unable to face his crimes.
Because I didn't feel accountable to anybody. I didn't feel that I had to face what I had done ever. And so there comes a point where a person has to be accountable for what he's done. Can't go around making excuses, blaming other people or other things.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo.
I wanted that
And be
too
sure to
because
subscribe.
when I watched the show, he actually would not look up from his desk at all. Like, he would just be sitting like this the entire time they was at trial and not even look at nobody. And I think in the actual show, the girl who like lost her shit, she was like, look at me in my face or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but that's crazy. They should have added that part. I think that's like a pretty significant part. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyways, y'all, if you guys haven't watched that show, y'all should definitely look into it. Me, I was anxious as fuck watching it. Like, I literally had nightmares about this dude. So if you're not really, your mind's, how do I say it, you're not really strong in watching like true crime and stuff, I definitely wouldn't watch it, because I mean, it is crazy, the stuff that you see, so be mindful of that. Yeah, but anyways, y'all, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.